Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great sleep. You're wide awake, you met the sun, you did your workout, and today I'm going to talk about sleep. I've been mentioning sleep many times in my lectures because it is one of the 6 variables which we must keep in balance in our lives in order to be healthy or even healthier. So these are the thoughts, the breathing, hydration, nutrition, and then you have movement, sleep, and happiness. So all these I am trying to go over in my lives and to help you, or at least to convince you that it is very important to keep balance in between. The balance for every person is different, and it is for sleep. But I would like to just talk about some myths about sleep, because people very often say things like, I sleep 5 hours, I sleep 6 or 7 hours, and I go through the day. Yes, you go through the day, but you can have way more energy and way better recovery. So I'm reading this wonderful book. It's called Successful Aging, and it's by Danielle Levitin, who is a PhD neuroscientist, cognitive psychologist, and other things amongst that. Very, very interesting. He talks about sleep as well, because sleep is part of the successful aging. Sleep is part of healing from the chronic health condition as well. Why? Because during the night we go through a recovery process, which I will talk about a little bit today, because I want to be clear for every person what is this recovery process and why it is important. So first of all, we depend on the moon and the sun cycles, which means when the sun is rising, our body knows through the skin, because it has receptors, that the sun is rising, and the body starts releasing cortisol and waking you up, and you go with your daily activities. When the moon is rising and the sun is sunsetting, the body also knows. But what we do, we disrupt this cycle with electricity, electrical lights, with devices, and that creates a whole enormous havoc in our lives. So when the moon is rising, the body ideally would start preparing for the sleep and the recovery, the resetting and restorative work at night. As you know, we are perpetual mobile machines who actually never sleep. While we sleep, your organs are working. And you know very well from the Chinese medicine, I'm sure that all of you read about that, searching for the cure for your health condition, that Chinese medicine suggests that each part of the night there is intensifying work of certain organs, like respiratory system. I believe it's between 1 o'clock and 2 and 3 o'clock. Then it's the liver, 3 to 6 o'clock, and so on and so on. So when the body is preparing for sleep, it rises the melatonin levels. The melatonin levels are regulated with this sunrise I ask you to meet every morning for the first 15 minutes when the sun is showing up. This is very important because it regulates your melatonin cycle and adenosine cycle as well. Then the body ideally prepares you to go to bed, and from about 9:30, 10 o'clock, you have to be fallen asleep already. And from that time to 2 o'clock a.m., you are going through intense physical recovery. So theoretically, we divide the recovery to physical and then psychological. But the truth is, if you listen to Matthew Walker, who is absolutely amazing, he's a researcher for the sleep, he says that it's not exactly like that. He also says that we don't know enough. We do a lot of researches, we monitor people and etc., but we're still on the path of learning about our sleep. But in those, let's say in your physical recovery, you also have periods of psychological recovery. Just because it intensifies through the night, it's considered that psychological recovery is from 2 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock a.m. So you know about the rapid eye movement phase of the sleep, where you go deep into your sleep, the body turns off your muscles, and the body does a psychological recovery. Then these are short periods in a longer periods of recovery period, because the brain uses 40% more of its power while we sleep, comparing to while we are alive, while we're not sleeping, okay, awake. And that process is very important for your restoration. That process is the one that eliminates what you don't need in your body. That process restores the body and accumulates energy for you. It makes free sources of energy. So next day you can have enough energy to go through the day and go after your dreams and live your life and etc. So this is the process of sleeping during the night, and in the morning when you wake up, the melatonin goes really low and the cortisol rises. Usually those two hormones cannot be together up in your bloodstream. It's impossible. One is up, the other one is down. It was very interesting. He asked Dalai Lama in this book how you remain so mentally fit. When he asked him, he was 83 years old, and he already wrote 125 books, and he was writing his next book. And Dalai Lama told him, it's only one thing. I sleep 9 hours every day. That keeps me going. That keeps me mentally fit. I would add that Dalai Lama probably does a lot of meditation, which also has a great restorative power. But I strongly believe that in order to really recover for the day, you need your sleep. So here comes the question about the hours. There is no one science about it. As soon as you read the research that says 7 hours are sufficient, there is a research that says 9 hours are not enough. So it's that diverse. And what I learned recently is that because women have a different way of recovery, dealing emotional world, dealing with the daily routines than men, women need 9 hours of sleep. Men has testicles, and they produce their testosterone there. We also produce testosterone, but while sleeping. And we produce a little bit because that much we need. And when this testosterone finishes or it's insufficient for us to keep going, we need to sleep, because we are not like men who, while being awake, can still produce some and keep them going. And this is, you probably know from the history from the way we're made for a reason, because men, when they used to go to hunt for millions of years, they needed to be awake in order to protect themselves, because if you're so tired that you want to sleep, you cannot run away from the lion, right? So this is one thing I want you to be clear. In the past, I had a lot of clients who would say to me, 7 hours is plenty for me, it's enough, and I'm fine. And I wouldn't pay attention to that because I didn't know enough, obviously, about it. And now when I go through my notes, I see that those clients could have done way better. Now, as I know what the human being is capable of in terms of recovery, energy, and etc., and I feel guilty of not talking to them about increasing their hours of sleep. Also, some people say that they sleep if they sleep 8 hours or 9 hours, they don't feel quite well, they feel sleepy during the day, and etc. When I talk to them and do evaluation, I actually find out that they have nights that they sleep very little and nights when they sleep too much. This apparently is a very good case for future depression and even Alzheimer. Meanwhile, deprivation from sleep is strongly connected to Alzheimer, they say nowadays. Of course, I don't want to say that it will happen for the 100% of the people who have deprivation of sleep, but there will be some consequence for people who don't sleep long enough. When we talk about tailoring of the hours of sleep, I think the ratio where you can go, not the ratio, from 8 hours to 9 hours, that's the tailoring. It's not from 7 hours to 9 hours. You either sleep 8 hours, 8 hours and a half, and 9 hours. This is the healthiest sleep length which I can suggest you from what I know about sleep. And to those who say that, well, I have a glass of wine and I sleep like a baby, I just want to tell you a few things from Matthew Walker. He has a podcast, meanwhile, who says that a glass of or two of wine in the evening has a sedative effect on sleep, but is not a sleep aid. It's sedating your cortex. Sedating is not sleeping. So sedating is not recovery. Sedating is sleeping, but the body cannot go into the deep REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, in order to recover you psychologically and even physically. And when the sleep is less continuous, when the sleep is fragmented, it blocks your REM sleep, which is responsible for your cognitive health and for your emotional recovery. So there is a lot of things like that. It's not only while you have a glass of wine, but also when you drink coffee. I had this too. I drink coffee after my supper and I sleep like a baby. Yes, you sleep, but you don't repair, you don't restore, you don't recover. That's what I see as the impact of this cup of coffee on you, on the people. So he gave this information from a research where he says that people who challenge their sleep patterns, they drink a glass of wine after their dinner, they have 50% less tissue recovery and repair. I think this is quite serious, and there is a linear relationship between your rapid eye movement sleep and your mortality. And Matthew says that if you have only 5% less of the rapid eye movement sleep than you need to have, you have up in 30% increase of chance of early death or mortality. So this is what I wanted to tell you about sleep, and I think it is very, very important. Remember that those principles that I'm working on with the clients, that we try to balance and tweak according to everyone's needs, are the ones that create the environment for our health. And we cannot escape out of it. There is no bypass. There is no biohacking. You can take the greatest supplements in the world, but if those are not balanced, your nutrition, hydration, your movement, your sleep cycles, your happiness, if they're not balanced, no supplementation will bring any desired effect. It can help a tiny little bit, maybe yes, maybe no. That's why when I work with clients, I first want to make sure that these are balanced, and then I'm adding herbs, because I find that supplements in capsules with coming from places where I'm not sure what is their quality, I can't guarantee that they work, and I don't see them really working. The human body has the amazing ability to heal, to self-heal, if we offer it the environment which will heal, the environment where it has enough energy and enough resources to heal. In some cases, it happens very fast. The reversing of the chronic health condition happens extremely fast. So things like osteoporosis, high cholesterol, diabetes, what else? High blood pressure. These are very easy to reverse. Some diseases which are very far gone need more time, because the entire system where the disease is, let's say kidney disease, the entire system is not working, and it needs more time to recover and restore. Some conditions are very easy to deal with, and others, because it also has the hereditary moment, despite the fact that they say that your genes don't matter if you have the perfect environment. I still haven't seen black and white opinion on that. What I read is some scientists say yes, but here is that one example, and I want to tell you, in terms of the sleep, I have this example for you of a lady of 86 years old who had a perfect sleep, very good lifestyle, no stress at all, her kids taking care of her, and she still got the dementia because her mother and her grandmother also got the dementia. I believe that there is something with it. It might be just her belief at younger age that she might go to this path. I don't know. I can't tell you. But what I see is, because of the good environment, her mother had the dementia when she was, I think, 70, but she started going down at the dementia route at 86, which is quite an extension of a good quality of life. And the dementia, I don't know if you know, but it has 7 stages, and it goes progressively slowly. Each stage is about a year and a half. So from the diagnosis of stage 1 or 2, people have at least 8 to 10 years or even more, maybe, lifespan. So this is not bad. Well, this is my little life for today. If you need any help with your sleep, contact me. Let me know how is the balance of your other variables, like I mentioned, nutrition, hydration, etc. And we can figure it out how we can improve your sleep. In the post below, I wrote a few things which are general. A lot more can be done with herbs, with sleeping pillows, with music, with a lot more, with breathing techniques. So, but every person is different, and that's why I'm very big on assessment. I need to assess you in order to tell you what exactly needs to be done, and then you give me feedback, and we tailor the protocol to your needs. Have a lovely week, and thank you for watching.
Follow for more TransformPerform. Drop a comment if you have any questions.